at first it was just arranging for music on Galliano, and then it became arranging music on all the islands, and in 3 weeks. A lot of people are away, but it was cool because I got to connect with all the people from all the different islands and all the different venues, and it's just the beginning, I think, of inter-island connections, and so we have people from every island playing on all the other islands, and and I'm trying to play on all the islands this weekend, and it might work and it might not, and we'll see. Hopefully I can sleep in my own bed at the end of the day. I don't have to sleep in someone else's house. But so far so good. It's been great.
From Saturna that Ian has, and I have my car. So how do you want to handle this? How many bodies do we
transport?
Well, for us, there's 3 of us, but then there's Jenny as well.
Okay. They came down in their own vehicle.
Oh, did they? Jenny's
Selena
got her own.
Selena did. Jenny, are you coming with us, or are you going with Selena?
Can I get a ride to the next bay? That's all I care about.
The next bay. The community bus was one of the initiatives. So on Maine, we decided, a group of us, that we would just go to Willie Dodge and ask them if they'd give us an old van that we can drive around and just pick people up and drop them off, and allow people to come to the Gulf Islands, at least to Maine to start with, without bringing the car in the ferry. And Willie Dodge said sure, and at the same time one of our local residents, Dean Mackay, phoned us up in the middle of our first meeting and said, "Oh, did I tell you I'm donating a small bus to you?" So that's where the bus came from initially. And we've been driving it on a 6-month pilot project for 24 months, and it's been very successful.
Sorry, you started out at 6 months and you're now at 24?
Yeah, that's right.
So we're on Maine Island here at Miners Bay, and with Joanna Weeks, who's the jail keeper in the Maine Island jail, the original jailhouse in the Gulf Islands.
Yeah.
And Joanna's going to explain to us a bit of the history of the building, which basically is the museum for the island.
It is now the
right
museum,
now.
yes. Yeah. We took it over in 1972. It was going for a tax sale, and the Agricultural Society, being a non-profit society, was able to buy it for a very nominal amount. Basically the taxes, I think, is what it was. But anyway, it was originally called the Plumper Pass Lockup, and because Active Pass was called Plumper Pass at that time. But the policemen had to live in the jail because they thought that it was very uneconomical to pay for his room at the Main Island Hotel, and so they made him stay in here where he nearly froze to death. The BC Fair Association put out a challenge to all the fairs to come up with, the first one was about 8 years ago maybe, and we had to do from farm to table, and a lot of we researched all our farms and whatnot, and so a lot of this stuff on the walls here is from the research into the farms that are still existing. There's not that many of them, but there are still some. And this was the first bearing tree slab when in 1874, when they surveyed the first survey of the island. And this canoe up here was built by Felix Jack. And somebody recognized it because his work was unique, apparently. They found it on a burn pile, and they restored it, and then they donated it to us. The stove, I don't have the lifter here, it's probably in the back, but you put the wood in there, or you put it in here. If it was a big log, you put it in there. And then your ash, you took out here in the ash pan. And they were reasonably efficient. Kept it nice and warm anyway. You just had to keep feeding it fuel all the time. And the oven was not too bad a size. When they were sending tomatoes and cucumbers off the island, when the Japanese were here, those are the labels for that. It was really a big farming community,
Right.
and they exported a lot of tomatoes, a lot of apples, cucumbers, and but a lot of it was in